Thank you so much for joining us today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. This is a recording of a live Zoom class. Tonight we are practicing a restorative class. We have somebody in the class who mentioned that their back was hurting. We have somebody in the class who has a finger that is painful, and another person who's had a dental issue and is a little sore in the jaw. So we are going to be working to bring some positive energy to those areas. I was just listening to a podcast about how we can change our own energy. Energy is within us all, it is around us all, it connects us to each other, it can never disappear, it can never be destroyed, it can only be transformed. So I believe that if we can help change the vibrational energy in our bodies, we can begin to facilitate healing to some of those painful places. And even if it doesn't work, it's not going to hurt it, and it's going to feel good along the way. So let's find a nice, comfortable seat. I am actually sitting up on 2 yoga blocks in a hero's position, Balasana, just kind of kneeling here with my hips raised up. I have a little bit of bursitis in my hip, so I am working to avoid doing overstretching of that area. So this, if you have any hip issues, might be a really comfortable place for you to come. So whatever place you want to be in, seated in a chair or seated cross-legged in Sukhasana, easy pose, go ahead and find that seat. And let's just come into the present moment. Just be with your breath, be in your body. Notice where you feel your breath in your body. When you first become aware of it, now that you're thinking of it, where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your belly? Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel the air flowing in and out of the nose? Just notice. Notice how your feet or your sit bones feel on whatever support you're sitting on today. Notice how the contact between you and the earth, basically underneath you, the floor, the mat, the earth, how does it feel on your legs, on your feet, on your sit bones, wherever you feel contact? Notice that. Notice your spine and notice if it's rounding forward or leaning back, kind of sunk down in on itself. And see if you can invite that spine to lengthen and draw upward towards the sky. Even as you're pressing down onto the earth, onto your sit bones, your legs, your feet, drawing up towards the sky with the tips of the ears, the crown of the head. Elbows and the shoulders are heavy and drawing down towards the earth, even as the crown is coming up towards the sky. These opposing forces working together to lengthen you throughout the spine. And when you've really stretched yourself to your full height from where you're sitting, relax a little bit into that. Find some ease here. Still sitting beautifully tall, still having a little bit of effort, but also a little bit of steadiness and a little bit of ease. And then come back to noticing the breath. See if you can notice the breath in the belly. Maybe even send the breath to the belly. Allowing the belly to expand with each inhale. And I just realized my eyes are closed, so maybe yours are closed as well. But if that's not comfortable for you, just let them be open. And notice how the belly kind of softens and the navel comes towards the spine as you exhale. And just let it be nice and soft and slow and rhythmic. Bringing your awareness to your whole body, a little mental scan, noticing any places where you might be gripping your hands or tightening your muscles or anywhere that you're tense, and see if you can just soften and let it go. Still sitting nice and tall, still feeling that ease throughout the body, still noticing that breath in the belly. Bring to mind any areas in your body, or maybe in your heart, or your soul, or your spirit, or your mind, any place where you're feeling tight or tense or frustrated, or any area like that. First thing that comes in your mind, and just acknowledge that it's there. Part of what makes us suffer, part of what makes us depressed, is wishing that what is wasn't. Because we can't just make what is go away. And wishing that the way things are were different is what causes a lot of suffering for ourselves. And so just acknowledging that a situation or a condition is the way that it is, and just accepting it and allowing it to be without fighting against it, can bring a little bit of ease. Just notice it's there, acknowledge it's there, accept that it's there. It is what it is, as they say. And then maybe bring a little bit of loving kindness to that area. I mean, what would you say if a good friend or a loved one told you that they had an area that hurt? You wouldn't just say, suck it up, buttercup, or slap some mud on it and get back to work. You would say, oh, I am so sorry for you. I hope it feels better. So in thinking about that area that might be troubling you, you might send some of that, oh, I'm sorry, I wish it felt better energy from yourself, from your heart to that area. Just some loving kindness, some gentleness, some acknowledgement. I see you. My heart goes out to you. I want you to have healing. Just let that permeate your being and see how it fits, how it sits in your body. And then just as we're expanding the belly with the breath, let us pretend like any areas of tightness, whether physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever it is, like we can breathe into that area. It's probably easiest with a physical one. So if we start there, any physical areas of the body where you feel pain or tension or tightness, just imagine that you have a balloon there. And as you inhale, you're filling up that balloon, expanding that balloon. And as you exhale, you're releasing the tension, releasing the tightness, releasing the pain. Inhale again, sending healing oxygen to that area. And exhale to bring an energy of relief and letting go. And sending that area, that energy of love, that loving kindness now along with the breath. Breathe into that area, expanding it, filling it up with that loving kindness, that gentle spirit, that healing energy. And letting it go, just allowing it to be. Probably still is there, maybe you've already let it go. But just know that you're there for it. You will take care of it. You will comfort it. If it's with you for a long time, you will still be there for it. And if it wants to be released and go on its way, you will happily send it off. And so I invite you with your own energy, your own power, your own healing capabilities to, whenever something like that comes up in your life, to bring some acceptance, some loving kindness, some healing breath, and the willingness to let it be or to let it go. And let's find a little gentle movement now here. If your legs are crossed, go ahead and switch the cross just to balance out the hips. If you're still sitting in hero's pose or seated on a chair, make whatever adjustments you might be able to make. And if you're doing all right, just stay where you are. And let's go ahead and inhale and reach those arms out along the sides of the body, nice and slow. And just reach them overhead and maybe look up to where the palms meet. And then bring the hands together and down to heart center. And then keep watching the hands as they continue their downward journey and they come apart at the lap. And then flip the palms back up towards the sky as you inhale, bringing the arms up alongside the ears. Exhaling, palms together and down through heart center. And we're just going to go around and around like this, moving through water, nice and slow, moving with the breath, getting some movement in the shoulders, getting some movement in the neck. Couple more times here, pressing into the earth, lifting up towards the sky, elongating through that beautiful spine. And then we'll all exhale, hands to heart center. And then let's go ahead and spread the arms out open, nice and wide. And then draw the palms together, rounding through the back, drawing the belly button to the spine. And then inhale, opening the arms up to the sky, lifting the heart. Exhale, rounding through the back, getting a nice seated cat-cow here. And just moving like water with those arms. And maybe you want to change the way that you're doing it. Maybe you want to lift the arms up to the sky, coming into cow pose, and then wrap them down and around and meet the palms together at the front and then lift them up to the sky again. Or maybe you want to bring the arms down into cactus arms, coming into this bent goalpost arms and getting a nice stretch across the collarbones here. 2 more times, wherever you are, whatever feels good in your space. spine, in your chest, in your heart and shoulders and neck. And then we'll all meet with the hands at heart space, coming back to center. And then let's go ahead and remove whatever support we have underneath us, if any. And let's just nice and easy come on down to the back. Let's kind of center yourself on your mat and bend the knees so they're pointed up towards the sky. Feet can be pressing onto the mat here. And you can kind of scoot your sit bones close enough to your shins that you can wrap your hands around the shins here. And just hug the legs to you and sit up nice and tall, tucking those shoulder blades down the back and lifting the crown of the head up towards the sky. And then begin the slow, controlled journey, using your core strength to really slow it down so that you can lay one vertebrae at a time down to your mat. Eventually it might break, and when it does, go ahead and come all the way down to the back and bring one knee and then the other into the chest. And we'll just rock a little bit here from side to side. Let's rotate the ankles in one direction and then the other. Nice and easy here. And then let's go ahead and send the arms and the legs out nice and long and get a really good full body stretch here. Maybe pointing and flexing the toes or rotating the ankles again, rotating the wrists here and opening and closing the hands, nice and gentle. Maybe wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes here. And then we'll go ahead and bring the one foot and then the other back to the mat. And let's just hug that left knee in to begin with here. Interlacing the fingers around the front of the chin. Sole of the right foot is on the earth, knee pointed up towards the sky. We'll just hug that left knee in here. And when you're ready, go ahead and turn the knee out towards the left and bring the outside of the left ankle to the top of the right thigh, coming into figure four stretch here. Let's get a nice little stretch on the hip, maybe pressing the thigh out and away from the body. And then if you want to go a little deeper, you can lift the right foot from the earth and interlace the fingers behind the right thigh, maybe reaching up to get a good grasp, but then coming back down to the earth with the shoulders and the back of the head and hugging both legs in towards the heart and maybe rocking a little bit from side to side. Being gentle here with the hands, letting the legs be nice and soft here, unless this bothers the left knee, and then flex that left foot, engaging the ligaments to support the knee. We'll just hug those legs in, getting a nice little stretch here, and if you want to go a little deeper, you might lift the upper body again just enough to interlace the hands around the front of the shin and draw the legs a little bit closer here. Back and forth. Moving gently. And then let's go ahead and continue crossing that left leg over the right, coming into a kind of a supine cow facing pose so that you're sitting just like you would if you were sitting cross-legged and proper in a chair. And then maybe reach down and hold on to the calves or the ankles or the feet here. Might have to lift the upper body to take a hold, but then go ahead and Come back down to the floor with the shoulders and the back of the skull, and hold on to those shins or ankles or feet, and really draw that left knee towards the heart, getting a really nice deep stretch here in that outer left hip. Maybe up the IT band, maybe even in the hamstrings. If you're holding on to the tops of the feet, you might also be getting a stretch in the front of the shins. We're just going to hold this and rock back and forth a little bit and feel it out. Be able to kind of settle in here. Let everything get loosened up. And then continue holding on to that right foot or ankle or calf. And release the left. And send those legs away from the heart so that the left foot comes down to the mat. You're still holding on to that right foot or ankle or shin, and then we'll reach that right arm up and overhead, getting a nice big stretch in that right side body. Kind of angling over to the side here, sort of a little C shape. This is orchid pose. Kind of a little pretzely sort of a pose here. Just nice and soft and graceful here. One more full breath, and then we'll inhale to straighten everything out. Realign the spine and the hips and the neck and the shoulders, and then we'll go ahead and bring both soles of the feet back down to the mat, knees pointed up towards the sky, and let's hug that right knee in towards the heart. Doing that same little ditty here on the opposite side. Maybe rotate that ankle again. And then go ahead and place the ankle on the opposite thigh, opening up space in that right thigh now. Not being afraid to press into the palms, press onto the thigh, and give yourself a little bit of a massage here. Allow yourself to be your own healer. And then if you want to go deeper, you can thread the needle here, drawing the right arm in the space made by the thighs and interlacing the hands behind the back of the left thigh this time. Making sure that the shoulders and the head can relax down to the earth here. Then you may want to rock from side to side a little bit. You might want to flex that right foot if this is irritating to the right knee, to engage those supports around the knee. And if you want to go deeper, again, you can reach up and around the front of the calf or the front of the shin and draw both legs even closer, getting a little deeper into that hip. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. Just softening and settling in, keeping the chin tucked to keep the neck long. Noticing where you might be tense or tight. Maybe you're clenching the jaw. Maybe there's tension between the eyebrows, and just let it be soft. And then we'll cross that right leg over the left again, coming into our supine cow face pose, holding on to the feet or the ankles or the calves here and drawing them closer to the earth, deepening that stretch in the right IT band, the right hip. Maybe come back to that breath. Maybe come back to that area of tightness or tension that you thought of at the beginning of class and send a loving breath or two there. Just letting it know you notice it, you see it, you acknowledge it, and you are doing your best to take care of it. Inhaling that loving kindness. Exhaling your willingness to just let it go. And then we'll go ahead and release the right foot, holding on to the left. We'll take the sole of the right foot down to the earth and lift the left hand up and over, maybe even looking over that right shoulder, getting a really nice stretch in the left side body, maybe pressing the outside of that right ankle against the top of the left thigh, sort of pressing them against one another rather than drawing away from one another for a little bit of traction here. Couple of breaths here. And then we'll go ahead and inhale everything out nice and long again. Shake it out. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Just nice and gentle movement. And then either roll to one side or the other and press yourself up into a seat. Or you can draw the knees into the chest and bring the hands behind the thighs and rock and roll up the spine, coming into a seat that way and giving yourself a little bit of a massage up and down the spine as you make your way back up to your nice tall seat. We're going to come back into hero's pose. You can use 1 or 2 blocks to sit on if you like, or you can sit directly on the heels. We are going to make this kind of a dynamic movement here. So reestablish that length in the spine. Reestablish that nice, soft, balanced breath. We're going to take the left hand to the chest and then bring the right hand over the left, covering the heart space. We're just going to kind of pull the chest down and away from the chin. And just start to lift the chin up towards the sky, getting a really nice stretch in the front of the throat here. Don't go too far. We don't want to crunch the back of the neck here. We want to keep it nice and safe. But come up to your comfort level and then kind of gently move the head a little bit from side to side. Noticing what you feel across the front of the throat here. Maybe as you bring your head over to the left, you might notice a little stretch all the way up to the bottom of your ear and into your jaw. And then just very, very slowly move your head over towards the right and notice what you feel in the neck, in the jaw, in the shoulder maybe, all the way up to the base of the skull beneath the ear. And then just kind of find a little organic movement here, feeling it out a little bit, moving really slow. Seeing if there are any areas of tenderness or tightness. And maybe stopping just enough to send that loving kindness breath there. And then we'll come back to center, release the hands. Allow them to come to the knees and slowly bring the chin to the chest. And then from here, maybe rolling the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then slowly, slowly, slowly down through center, and then the left shoulder comes to the left ear, or left ear goes to the left shoulder. That would be easier, more convenient certainly. And just from side to side. Again, noticing any places where you're like, oh, and just stopping and imagining that balloon there. Inhaling, sending loving kindness, sending healing energy. And exhaling, sending relieving energy, healed energy, accepting energy. And when you've had enough there, we'll go ahead and come back to a nice tall spine, head at the top of the spine. And then we're going to take the right fingertips over to the right side, so kind of by your hip on the mat here. And if you're sitting up on a block, you might want to also bring a block over to the side to place your hand on so you can reach, because if you're sitting up here, you won't be able to put your hand on the mat. So we're just going to bring the hand here, and we're going to take the left arm out in front of us, and then we're going to cross it over in front and over towards the right, getting a stretch in the left side body. And then we're going to sweep that left arm all the way through the front and down and around to the left side, and then bring that right arm across and over to the left. And then we'll sweep the right hand over to the right side, bringing that left arm across and in front and over to the right. And we'll just sweep back and forth, again, like flowing through water. If you want to get the lower body into this as well, the next time you come to one side or the other, you can lift up on your heels, press into the hips, and bring the arm up and overhead. Coming down to the mat again and pressing into the hips, lifting up onto the heel, sweeping the arm up and across. And you can really get everything into this. You can get the shoulders involved, you can get the neck involved, you can really come up higher on the hips and release the ground all together, coming all the way up and then all the way back down. Whatever feels good to you, let it be beautiful and graceful and loving and flowing and free. We don't get to do that very much, to just be free and move with your own fluidity and your own grace. You're all in the privacy of your own homes. Let it be lovely. We'll just get one more to each side, even things out here. And then we will go ahead and come back to center. And let's go ahead and get up off those legs and maybe tap the feet out a little bit here. And then we'll bring the feet one side or the other, or cross them and roll the sit bones back over them so that we can come to our sit bones again. Coming into staff pose, Dandasana, pointing the toes up towards the sky. Maybe the knees are bent here, maybe the legs are pretty straight. But we're going to go ahead and sit up nice and tall, bringing those fingertips out to the side. Again, drawing the crown of the head to the sky, pressing the sit bones, the legs down into the earth. We'll go ahead and inhale the arms up alongside the ears, coming into our victorious pose. And then exhale, hinging forward at the hips. Inhale again, lengthening through the spine, leading with the heart, leading with the breath. And then exhale, letting the fingertips come alongside the legs. And continuing to just creepy crawl yourself a little closer to the legs. Coming as far forward as feels comfortable for you. And then if you'd like to, you can just round the back, bringing the head towards the legs. Releasing any effort in the hands, releasing any effort at all in the feet. And just rounding forward, allowing the head to be heavy. allowing the back body to be open, making space in between each little vertebra. Breathing here, sending that loving, energetic breath to any areas that do not have ease here. Allowing the face and the jaw to soften. Maybe reaching down along the calves or to the ankles or to the feet and drawing your heart a little bit closer to the legs. Getting more of a stretch in the side body or just staying there with the rounded back, hands resting to the mat. Whatever feels good to you here. Breathe into that lower back. Breathe into that back body. Two more breaths here. Allowing the skin of the face to be soft. Allowing the head to be heavy. Softening where you can. And then inhaling that nice straight spine again first. And then using the hands to crawl your way back up to a nice tall seat. And then after that nice, slow, gentle, restorative practice, we'll come into Shavasana, corpse pose. And we'll come down to our backs the same way we did previously, holding the backs of the thighs, knees pointed up to the sky, reestablishing that nice long spine, the lifted heart, the heavy elbows, and then rolling one vertebrae at a time down to the back body. Until you come all the way down, and then we'll stretch out into one last full body stretch, centering yourself on your mat here so that you can get nice and comfortable having full Shavasana, either with each foot on the bottom corners of the mat so that the feet can just kind of be open and the legs can be relaxed. And then open, you got the arms to the sky, and maybe lifting the heart just enough to snuggle those shoulder blades towards one another, and lifting the head just enough to tuck that chin. Full Shavasana here. And if this is not comfortable, do whatever you need to make yourself comfortable using blocks or blankets or pillows underneath the hips, underneath the knees, underneath the head. Cover up with a blanket or a jacket, whatever allows you to just relax here. And once you find that place of relaxation, I invite you to bring your attention to the palms of your hands. Your eyes are closed. That feels comfortable, or soft gaze up at the ceiling, but you're not looking at your hands. But with your inner eye, your inner awareness, your attention is on the palms of your hands. Notice what you feel. Do you feel the energy in your hands? A little spark of aliveness. And then kind of trace that energy, that spark of aliveness up through the arms. Noticing how it pulses within you. Flow of circuitry in your nerves, in your veins, in your skin, but deeper than that, more than that. Sort of buzzing, pulsing energy from your palms up through your arms, to your shoulders. And then bring your attention down to the soles of your feet. Do you feel the energy in your toes? In your feet? It's this very gentle buzzing sensation. Or maybe you don't really feel anything at all. That's not at all uncommon, especially when we live so much of our lives not paying attention to our bodies, trying to disassociate from our bodies. But the more you practice just being aware of the body and the potential for the energy to be flowing within it, the more you will be able to recognize it when you feel it. And even if you don't feel it, just imagine that you feel that energy in your feet and then coming up through your lower legs, your knees, your thighs, your hips. The energy in your back body as it rests against your mat. Back of your skull, your shoulders, sit bones. The energy across the front body and the belly, the heart, the throat, the jaw, the face. Imagine or feel that energy flowing throughout your body. And imagine that this is the most positive, beautiful, light, healing energy that can be created. And that you've created it yourself, for yourself, through yourself, within yourself. And then bring your awareness back to any places that have any soreness, tightness, tension, pain. Send that energy there. This pulse of life, this healing light, filling you up, creating health and well-being and harmony within your very soul. With Thanksgiving coming around the corner, and this video probably will get posted after Thanksgiving, but it's 2 days away now, and IRL. That was stupid. In real life. Bring a little bit of gratitude to this energy, this force that is within us all, connects us all, ever flowing, always constant, always there, for you to tap into anytime you bring your awareness to it. Bring all the grateful thoughts, the loving thoughts, experiences that you've had, people and animals that you love, and let all of that inform your energy with that high, positive, gentle, happy, harmonious, peaceful energy. Feel the energy flow up from the feet into the heart and out through the top of the head. We'll inhale, drawing that energy through the soles of the feet, up the legs, into the heart. And exhale, sending the energy out through the top of the head. And do that 3 more times. Inhaling energy through the body from the bottom and out the top. Ever flowing channel of light and energy and positivity and healing. Find that final breath there and know that it is always there for you to tap into. As we wiggle the toes and wiggle the fingers and rotate ankles and wrists, bringing movement back to the body, maybe windshield wiping the feet from side to side. Maybe stretching out one last time, getting as long as you can, getting the fingertips as far away from the toe tips as they can possibly get. And then we'll either rock and roll up the spine, coming into a nice tall seat, or roll to whatever side serves you best. Coming into that fetal position. Taking a full breath here, sending that loving kindness energy through the entire body. This going from corpse pose to fetal position here, leaving anything behind that no longer serves you and coming into something new. And then we'll press back up to a nice tall seat, coming into Dandasana with the legs out in front of you, coming into Hero's pose, sitting on the heels or sitting cross-legged or in Sudassana, whatever feels good to you to finish off our practice tonight. And we have a mantra in yoga. It's called the Shanti Mantra. And Shanti in Sanskrit means peace. So it's the peace mantra. And it goes, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. What it means in English, and the best translation I have ever heard, is may all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may my thoughts, my words, my deeds, and my actions contribute to that in some way. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste.